The following is a podcast meant for adults and discuss things like sexual content and alcohol use. Listener discretion is advised.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between? We don't discriminate and we don't judge. Welcome to the Drunk Tech, ma'am, not ma'am. You're already doing it. We haven't even been in the episode 30 seconds. Welcome to the Drunk Texting podcast where we have some drinks, talk some mess, and help you through your thirsty 30s as only we can. I am one half of your co-hosting team, JB, aka your first ever Kraken Pro Wrestling Cash in Hand champion, Jack Mild, the Sweeper. And I am so happy to be joined, as always, by my co-hostess, with the ma-hostess. Please tell the people who you are.
I'm Doug.
What?
I'm Doug.
Ma'am. Ma'am.
Doug.
You're Doug?
I'm Doug.
So
Doug.
for this episode, you're going to be Doug.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to my co-hostess with the mostest for this episode, Doug.
My name's going to change every episode. So
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Is that going to be your new shtick? Instead of adjective, you're just going to have a new name every time?
Yeah.
Oh,
Sam Doug.
Oh, no. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Doug. Well, Doug, what are you drinking on tonight?
I am drinking on, what is this? Strawberry lime margarita.
Ooh,
straight. There's no mixer in that. It's just straight. It's that kind of day, bro.
I understand. Hey, I'm drinking lemonade and tequila. It's short, sweet, and to the point.
I'm here for it.
Hey, it is what it is, man. And look, like you said, it's been a week, it's been a day, it's been everything. So we ain't doing the fruity, all kinds of crazy concoctions. We doing straight juice and liquor.
That's it.
Before we get into today's episode, I want to preface, as we always say, please remember to always drink responsibly, never drink and drive, sometimes drink and text. Man, it has been a chaotic, week, 2 weeks for America. And I don't just mean in the political scape. I specifically mean, and you've probably seen all about this, but Annabelle, the movie, the doll that inspired the movie, that based on a true story, fucking wild, based on a true story. That terrifies me more than anything. But the doll that the movies were based on went on tour because the people that owned Annabelle, or I guess had Annabelle locked away, they passed away in the early 2000s. Somebody got possession of Annabelle following their passing, and they decided, we're gonna go on tour. We're gonna fuck all the little things, that the warning that they gave us, and said oh, just keep her locked away because she's very dangerous and she'll bring on evil spirits. No, we're gonna take her on tour. Took her to Louisiana. Freaking 10 inmates escaped, which at this point I still don't even know if all 10 have been captured.
I think they were. There might still be one.
Last I heard, the last time I heard anything, there were still there were 8 that had been captured, I think.
Oh, let's see.
I
think one might have.
Hold on. Now I need to know, because I've been making bets on who would be the last one.
They say, possibly 8.
Hey, also,
I'm on NBC News.
According to,
there are 2 left, so 8 have been captured.
Wait, hold on. Which one? I need to know. Now I need to know which one's still out, cause
who's still out? Still out is. Tell me who's still free. Not free, obviously.
Right.
Antoine Massey is still out. And
Please.
who you got your money on?
Once I see them again, I'll be able to tell you. Once I see their face, once I
The
see
other
him.
one that's still free
No,
is
Linton Van
Derek.
Buren.
Is
No,
Derek Groves and Antoine Massey are still out.
no, my parlay. Damn it, my parlay.
Oh, you
I
had
had
your money on him?
I had my money on Linton Van Buren because he absolutely like if he were to have gotten a haircut and just didn't wear like regular clothes, he would look like a completely different person. Dang, my parlay, no. But you know what? At least my coworkers' parlay didn't hit either. In fact, I'm pretty sure the person that they had their money on was actually one of like the first three to get captured.
That's funny.
I'm happy because I didn't lose anything. Even though I didn't win anything, I didn't lose anything. Um, but yeah, so the inmates escaped because of Annabelle. I'm gonna say because of Annabelle. And then a
I think they
plantation,
saved because of Annabelle.
in Louisiana burned to the ground. And here's how I'm almost positive that that was something spiritual, aka supernatural, because one, they cannot tell you how the fire started. Like none of the investigators are like, we have no idea how this fire started. Like it just
Hmm.
started. And two, at one point, and this was reported by multiple sources. At one point, the fire was extinguished, and then it started again. You cannot tell me that is not something supernatural. Because what do you mean the fire was extinguished and then it just started again? And then on top of it, they can't even tell you how the fire started. No, that is supernatural.
It was Annabelle.
I believe it 100%.
Bring
I,
Annabelle.
I 100%. And you know what makes it even worse on top of that, though? Apparently they lost her. Apparently they have lost Annabelle.
Yeah.
They have no idea where Annabelle is right now. And that
That's
I hate it. Like it just I was gonna ignore it. I was gonna ignore it and keep going.
I
I was gonna ignore it and keep going.
I tried, bro. It was just there. I couldn't.
I was gonna ignore it and keep going. Jesus Christ. For those that are not able to look at the screen, studio audience, aka James, aka Doug's fiance, just was doing something over in the corner of the screen. Like I couldn't even completely tell what he was doing. I was trying to focus on what I was saying. He
He
kept
was
like
just like
slowly
getting
like
comfortable.
and he just like slowly like getting more into frame
I don't think he knew he was getting in the frame. He was just trying to get comfortable.
and Doug was clearly trying to hold it in while I was talking. And I'm just like, I'm gonna ignore it. I'm gonna act like I don't see it. And then Doug made a face, and it stopped the whole thing. It
I
threw.
couldn't because it's just the fucking ears, bro. Just it's all just his ears.
Oh man, that's funny. That hey, it is what it is. No, but you cannot tell me that like one somebody's greed is the reason that Annabelle even was on the move in the first place. Somebody got greedy and was like, I'm gonna make some money off of this doll. Especially because they're the new movie that's supposed to be coming out. I think this year, later this year, there's the new Annabelle movie coming out.
What?
Yeah,
Another one?
yeah, there's another one coming out this year. I think it's the last one. I think.
How
I
many are they gonna? How many can they make?
I think this one will be the fourth one. I think because I know there's the Annabelle, or I think it's Conjuring, Conjuring 2, and then like Annabelle Creation, where they explore like how Annabelle became. Help me out, Doug. I see you over there searching.
What are you searching? What?
Help me out. I know you searching for the movie stuff, man. Come on, Doug.
Oh, is that Annabelle 4?
Annabelle halfway to Halloween.
Annabelle halfway to Halloween.
I don't like that at all. I don't.
That sounds creepy.
It does.
That's disturbing.
I don't like that at all. But yeah, that's you know, um, And for me, I will say, because I admit it to my wife, that like dolls like that creep me out. Like every time I've seen a picture of the actual Annabelle doll, I've been creeped out. Like just seeing a picture of it has creeped me out, and I'm just. And the thing is, and I told my wife, I was like, man, one of my great aunts, she used to have like some of those like porcelain dolls in her house when I was growing up. Dog, them things used to scare the hell out of me. Like, well, I won't say scare, but they would creep me out. Like, I would sit on the opposite side of the room from them. And if there was no space for me to sit on the opposite side of the room, I'm gonna stand. Cause if one of them things started moving, I'm running out the house. I'm leaving.
I'm different. I'm out.
like there's nothing that can be done. I'm gone. I'm out. I'm done. Like goodbye. Cause like, what do you mean? There are actual practicing voodoo and hoodoo witches and like bone doctors, bone priestesses, and everything of the likes. What do you mean? They were actively casting warding spells on Annabelle as Annabelle within Louisiana. Do you know how powerful of an entity that thing is to have actual practicing witch doctors and bone priestess and everything else with them actively practicing saying like, no, we don't want none of that smoke. We want none of that here. Do you know how powerful that thing has to be to get a collection of them to do it? It's one thing to have like one or two, but you got a collection of them actively doing warding spells. That is a problem.
It's the fact that the box she was in itself was specifically made of like blessed wood. Like
Yes.
they have like a holy water diffuser going on at all times around the box.
Yes. Yes.
I saw a video, they were moving the box and there was a little priest splashing holy water as they were moving the box.
Because you have to.
And that's so
The fact that we have multiple religions doing warding protections to keep that thing from going rogue and starting to like attack people with the evil spirit is terrifying. It is terrifying. That's another reason why I slink. As much as I do want to go to New Orleans again, I don't want to go because I know that like all that kind of stuff going on down there. Because I've been seeing a bunch of videos about like different types of shadow men and shadow women trying to do like the destiny swapping, and I'm like, why would y'all try that? Why would y'all try to do that to us? Why would you?
Yeah.
Like, and I get it. I 100% get it. They can't do it unless the person willingly puts themselves in that position. But think about like the average person who doesn't know anything about stuff like that. They're just regular tourists in New Orleans. They get approached by a smiling person and big wide smile, nice teeth, and they're just like, "Come on, touch my elbow, touch my elbow. I'll tell you your destiny. I'll tell you what your future is." Like,
no thanks.
and it's the fact that all of those people were active. First off, New Orleans. We all know New Orleans is like ground zero for like the hoodoo, the voodoo, the spirits walking the streets, all of that. The fact that they aren't even concerned about the things going on in their own city, but they're more concerned about the freaking doll that was brought there. That is terrifying.
Yep. That's the problem.
That is a problem. The fact that you
That's
got all of them collectively, they all decided, we don't want these problems. Let's jump her. Like the fact that you got people in TikTok videos talking about, I rebuke all evil spirits away from this. I do not invite any spirit. Bro, I'm telling you, I watched a video about Annabelle being lost. And that's all the comments were. I rebuke any evil from this. I do not accept any spirits following this. I rebuke Annabelle's spirit. Like the whole comment section. And I'm just like,
now I'm getting funny Annabelle TikToks.
I got a couple of them. But like most of them have been like people that were afraid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what?
Afraid.
And I'm like, you know what? You have every right to be afraid, because What do you mean? We've seen the
Yeah,
movies.
I just read an article. Apparently, Annabelle was never lost.
I don't believe that. I don't believe
It
that.
says she wasn't lost. Somebody just started a rumor that she was
I
lost,
don't believe that.
but they think the person just showed up like a day late.
I don't believe that. I don't. But like,
I think, I don't know, but they apparently they have her now. She's back in the box in like the people who had her, the Warrens, back in their museum. It says she's back there now.
I guess. But even the
But she
Warren.
may still
Hold on. If I remember correctly, the Warrens are already dead.
Yeah, but they still have a museum. Like they have an actual museum.
Oh yeah, look at that. They do. See, don't get me wrong, because I have plenty of friends and I've met plenty of people that would love stuff like this. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to step foot. I don't want to step foot in a place like that because I know for a fact that I'm gonna step foot in there. I'm gonna get creeped out, and I'm just gonna leave everybody high and dry in there. I'm just gonna walk out and
Yeah.
be like, you know what? This ain't worth it. I'm going to my car. I kept some holy water stashed away just for this. I'm splashing myself with that shit. I'm splashing my car with it. Like no, cause
Yeah.
cause I'm like
Yeah.
I already like I already am the type of person like I get weird feelings when I go to cemeteries. Like
Yeah.
visiting family, I get weird feelings in the
It's odd.
cemetery. And I'm like, so if that's a place where some people say that like the spirits are most dormant, then fuck it. I'll be damned if I go to a place where the spirits are not dormant, where they running rampant, where they outnumber the people that's coming to visit.
Keep it.
Like y'all got that all the way. Y'all can have that. Cause that ain't for me. I
Do you
mm,
think?
hmm.
Do you guys think this is like an overly, like an elaborate, um, what is it?
Hoax.
Uh, Not a hoax, but like what do you call it? A way for the new movie to like average, like a PR stunt,
Possibly.
I
like
mean,
all this for the movie.
I mean,
Emma?
yes, I could see them doing that as a way to have PR for the new movie, but at the same time, knowing that all of these movies have been based on a true story, I refuse to believe that they would have gotten the original Annabelle for their PR. I feel like they would have gotten like a replica of Annabelle to go on tour. Like just to get the OG Annabelle, like the original. Nah, I don't feel like that was
It's crazy.
like that.
The
That's a little
original
bit
Emma itself is wild.
right.
So supposedly, this wasn't the first time that people were worried that the doll went missing. Because back in 2020, Tony Sapera, the son-in-law of Ed and Lorraine Warren, was forced to clear up rumors that she had escaped her enclosure.
Shit.
So this caused panic back in 2020. So this is the second time this happened.
Shit.
Of course it is.
And that's even more of a reason for me to say, fuck no, y'all got it. Dog, the Annabelle statue is just so creepy. It is so creepy. Oh, it's so
It's
creepy.
terrifying.
Huh?
It's terrifying, honestly.
It's so creepy. Like the one in the movie is bad enough, but like,
Like the doll itself, which is a Raggedy Ann doll, is unsettling.
thank you. It is incredibly unsettling. And I'm just like,
I was telling James, when I was younger, my mom told me how she always wanted a Raggedy Ann doll, but my grandma would never let her have one.
and I
And I never
understand why.
understood.
And I
But now
understand
I get
why.
it. I'm like, I get it.
I
That's
100%
just
get it, because,
after
no, sir.
watching that and watching them was them or it was them. Them, yeah, and watching them, I said no, none of that.
Sorry, you said them or us. That's funny.
Because I forgot the name of the show. It was them.
That's just,
Us is the movie. So yeah, after watching them, absolutely not. I do not partake in that Raggedy Ann bullshit. No,
No, not at all.
they can keep that all
Like I,
they
s-
want. I
like I
want no
said,
part of
man.
it.
Like I said, man. Them dolls used to, boy, them dolls used to fuck me up as a child. I used to hate them.
It's just unsettling as fuck.
Very. Like,
Like, what do you want that for? It's a creepy looking doll.
it is a very creepy looking doll. Like, and why would you want something that explicitly is said raggedy? Like, it's called raggedy. Like,
Like, I don't know if that was a thing back in the day, but no thanks.
it's a mess. It is a mess. I just, ugh, ugh. I hate it. I hate every singular bit of it. I really, really do.
It's just rattles the nerves.
I'm gonna take me a good old healthy swig, and then we're gonna move on.
Yeah, let's move on before I get the jitters and not sleep at night.
Alrighty. But going from one movie that is based on a true story to another movie that's not based on a true story whatsoever, but was recently made into live action, Lilo and Stitch. I've heard nothing but bad things until we got on this call to do this episode. Like, I had seen one person on my personal Facebook page who had said that she thought that it was the best one up to date, but like the best live action that Disney has done up to date. But every other comment had just been negative, negative, negative. And before we get any further, this right here is your official spoiler warning because we will be discussing the movie. Doug has seen it. I have not. I have no intention of seeing it, so I don't really care. I've seen all the details that they were talking about, like what was it going to be in the movie, and I'm just like, I have no intention of seeing it. Like, y'all took out arguably some of the best parts of the movie, so I have no intention of seeing it. Doug and James saw it, so like I said, this is your official spoiler warning. So if you want to see the movie and see what changes they made from the original to this, you might want to skip ahead probably about a good 10 minutes.
Definitely that.
Please, please,
Now,
please talk to me because I've seen nothing but bad things, especially the ending. But I'll let you get your words out and then we'll discuss.
now I will say, here's my thoughts. You know, people say that. I mean, I had to speak. I was gonna call my friend. She was supposed to be seeing it today. Um, I will say I also went into it with the expectations of other people saying like, "Oh, it it's not the same." Were there some things in the movie that I did have issue with? Yes, but I didn't go into the movie with the expectation to hate it
Okay.
because fair enough. The director did say there were changes in the movie.
Yeah,
We knew about these changes
we did.
before the movie came out.
We did.
So with that in mind, I knew I wasn't getting those things.
I just for me, and I'll say this right here. For me, I feel like, and this might be the nostalgia talking because I grew up. Lilo and Stitch was one of my favorite movies growing up. I had the
Of course,
CD. I had the soundtrack CD. Literally
of course.
up. I don't even. Ooh, it might still be at my parents' house because I actually had that CD up until. Ooh, what was that? 2019, I want to say, right around 2018, 2019, because I had it when I had my first car, and I would play the CD in my car because at the time I didn't have an aux cord, so I was like, well, I'm gonna just use some CDs I got. I had about like 12, 14 CDs, and that was one of them that was always in rotation. So I one of the things that, and it might just nostalgia talking, one of the things that I saw that they changed that I was like, no, I just can't watch it, was
Mm.
Pleakley not dressing in drag.
N- Let's talk about that.
Like,
Y- Yes, Bleakley is not in drag per se.
Boo.
But there are a few scenes where, okay, yeah, he's just completely not in drag. There are some of his scenes where he is just more feminine, you could say.
But still,
Like
nah.
he's
I
in like a
needed,
almost full out fucking Daisy outfit.
but
Um,
I needed Pleakley in an 8-inch bust down with the curl on the
no,
end.
Weekly would never pull off that 8-inch bust down. His wig had, if they were gonna do it, his wig should have been ratty as hell. That shit look, you should
I
have like
mean,
a ratty ass wig.
you're not
Like it's
wrong.
still good, but you can tell that shit is fake and ratty as
Like
hell.
in the movie, like in the OG movie, you're right. The first like two wigs that Pleakley wore were trash. Once we got to the TV show, Pleakley knew how to
Then
put that
that's when
shit
they got,
on. Like
he had that shit all the way on lace down.
right.
But in the movie, his shit was busted all the way sideways.
It
It
was.
should have been.
It was.
But I think that was something they easily could have done. Hey, you playing this character, put a dress on. I think I read somewhere that was somewhat of the actor's decision.
Boo.
I think that was
Boo.
somewhat of the actor's decision.
Boo.
Which is strange because
Like you knew the character you were signing up for.
And my thing is, when it comes to, and we'll get back on subject of the movie itself, but my big thing with a lot of these live action movies where they do these live action remakes, it feels like they don't understand that the people that are going to see this movie, they ain't little kids. These are the people that grew up with the animated version of these movies, and they want to
Right.
see what it looks like in live action. That's
And
why I
I
went to
think
go see The Little Mermaid, because I was like, okay, even though I wasn't the biggest fan of The Little Mermaid, I still was like, I watched it. I want to see what it looks like. Plus, Hallie is getting to
Ariel.
play Ariel, so like, I want to see how good she do. Then I saw like a clip of her singing on TikTok, and I was like, "Ooh, I need to go see this," because that little 30-second clip just cleansed my soul. Like that felt great. So,
Right.
uh,
I personally think if people went and saw the movie with not the expectation of it's gonna be a scene by scene to scene remake, view it as a whole separate movie.
mm,
View it as a separate movie in its own. I feel like they will have slightly different opinions.
okay, but see, and here goes my counter argument to that. And I think this is where a lot of these live actions fail across the board is that they go into it with the marketing as a live action remake. And
And I think that they need to stop that.
and don't get me wrong, I know the word remake makes you should automatically be like, okay, it's a remake. It's not going to be a one-to-one of the original. But
Right.
when you hear a remake, you're thinking, okay, it's going to still be the same basic. It's going to be the same story and the same this with just like
Right.
some minor things to adjust for it being live action.
Right. But Lilo and Stitch very much they did that but also didn't do that. They told the same story but a different story at the same time.
See, also part of my problem with it was their PR did so well going into
Yeah.
the release of the movie. Like even to the point to where they had a Super Bowl ad.
Like that was I would say Disney they really stepped up their marketing with that one. Like that was crazy.
They
The
did great,
marketing for the movie out the was out the ass. The budget was probably more than the movie itself.
probably. My
To take out
problem
a Super Bowl ad,
also part of my problem truthfully is the fact of the PR was doing great until the director started coming out talking about what wasn't going to be in the movie. Why was Gontu not in the movie? That hurt my spirit. I was like, dog. Yeah, he was the
because
main villain.
I looked at that. Yeah, I looked at that too. Um, I think he just would have blown their budget out the water. The feat of trying to make Gantu in the movie that would have completely busted their budget wide open. Because Gantu is huge,
Yes.
and he's a huge part of the movie.
Yes.
So that would have been a lot of money just on Gantu alone. And there was
Act
like,
like act like Disney don't got that money. Act like Disney don't make that money. What do you, man? Come on.
but that's the thing. I don't. I think Disney didn't. They knew their live action game has not been it,
Have it been
so maybe they didn't want to take that big of a gamble
one of the few
with
good ones
it.
in my opinion? Little Mermaid. Beauty
Yeah.
and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast was okay.
And I think with the absolute flop of Snow White, they really did not want to take the big jump.
Wait a minute. Has Snow
They
White been
re-released
released?
the live action Snow White
Yeah.
was been released twice, and that shit flopped both times.
I
They
ain't even.
re-released it last. I think they re-released it last week, and that shit still flopped like hell.
I didn't even realize that it had been released yet. I thought it was. I still thought we had like another 2 or 3 months before it was released. That's
No,
crazy.
Live action Snow White came out. Damn, when that bitch came out in March, and they tried to re-release it like a week or two ago, and that shit flopped again.
That's crazy.
It has terrible ratings. Like that shit has a 40% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Ugh. Granted,
A
who
one
uses Rotten Tomato anymore? I will. I'll say
okay,
it.
well that's a 1.7 on IMDb
Damn.
out of 10.
Damn.
And the fact that they tried to re-release it to try to make more money off of it, and it still didn't do good, that movie was ass. I
Right.
know it was.
With a crock
I know
pot
that movie was ass.
ass.
But so far, even though people have their bad complaints about the Lilo and Stitch live action movie, it still is making numbers. It's still doing numbers.
Of course it is, because people are taking their kids to it. Then there's also those ones that are going to hate watch it so they can talk trash on it. I have a question, and this is again another spoiler. Is it
Yeah.
true? Is it true in the end of the movie that Nani gives up Lilo to go study in on the mainland? Is that true?
She didn't have a choice.
What do you mean didn't have
She
a
really
choice?
she did not want to. She did not have a choice, really. Her like in the original, her house was destroyed.
Right,
You ain't got no fucking job.
right.
Again, Lilo was on again, like in the movie, Lilo about fucking drowned, and that's when they about took her. And of course, in the live action, she about drowned. They saw it and they was like, she almost drowned. Your house is now destroyed. You have nowhere to live, sweets. Um, they gave her a chance and she failed every chance. Like the girl had to she ended up going to the hospital and they was like, yeah, she need health insurance. She never got Lilo health insurance. So they was like, yeah. And it's not like she went into the foster system. Lilo literally moved next door.
Okay, hold on. Just because she moved next door doesn't mean she wasn't a part of the system for a little bit. Just because her time in the system was tiny, she still got taken. The system took her. The system placed her in another home, even if that
Other
home is
than
just next
the
door.
neighbor offered to take her. It's like, oh well, she can stay with us while you're at school.
But that's still part of the
And it's not
system.
like she straight up. And that's the thing. It's not like she straight up left her. She still goes and sees her all the time. She still goes and sees her because, and this was like a pre-credit scene, like very beginning credit scene. Lilo has not Lilo. Nani has a ray gun. Well, not a ray gun. Nani has a portal gun, so she just goes back and forth visiting Lilo all the fucking time. It's not like she just like straight up like, oh, okay, bye. Never to be seen again. Like they talk, like she pops up. Like the movie literally ended with them falling asleep in the bed together. So it's not like she just up and ditched her.
But like, but like the whole original movie, the whole thing was Ohana means family. Family means no one gets left behind. She left Lilo. No matter how you slice it, No matter how you define it, no matter how
But
you try to
the girl was
reframe
also
it, she
Lilo's aunt.
left her.
The girl was also kind of Lilo's aunt.
What?
The girl was also kind of Lilo's. The lady she went with, the neighbor, was also kind of her aunt.
I stand by my statement.
Like, cause again, everybody in Hawaii, everybody's Ohana. That's what you're Ohana. She's. It's not like she has to go anywhere. She's still there. Like they rebuilt. They rebuilt the house, so she in the house. She's still living her best life with her friends.
My concern is that the reason why they had Nani go off to college is because she might not be used as much in the sequel if they do make a sequel.
Oh
Because why
God.
would you
Nani was never a part in the other movies anyway. After the first, she wasn't a big part after the first movie anyway.
She
So
wasn't.
and that's what everybody's harping on, that Nani left Lilo. She didn't like foster system again, bro. She's in the system, but she's not in the system. She's only in the system. Not even really in the system for real. That bitch is next door.
And still in the system, still being monitored.
She's not being monitored though.
So why why give this movie more of a pass than the non-canon anime?
Because this movie, well, this movie, I think this movie will get a, in my book, this movie gets a pass when the anime doesn't. This movie has actual ground. I think it's because Chris Sanders was actually a part of this movie. He stands for the live action. Chris Sanders and everybody else that worked on the franchise has nothing to do with the anime. That's something somebody else took and ran with it. Like they did not have they had no right, no type of anything to make that anime. They probably got sued for that shit.
I mean, yeah.
Because that's Disney. You don't fuck with Disney shit.
You don't.
And considering Lilo and Stitch is one of Disney's biggest franchises to date,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they probably got sued. That's why there was like maybe the one season of that show.
All
That was
right.
the one season anime, and they
Tell
said fuck no.
tell me something else.
Yeah.
Because this is also gonna go into my will I watch it on Disney Plus when it comes out on Disney Plus
Okay.
pile.
Okay.
Does Lilo at least put hands on Myrtle?
In a Disney appropriate way, yes.
That's not good enough.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's
I'm
not.
not gonna lie. When I seen it in the movie, I was like, that is appropriate for a child, and I was laughing.
That's not good enough. Nah, I need her jumping on her, putting them fucking. I need her doing like she did in the animated series.
In a children's movie, but I will say what she did. Can I tell you what she did to Myrtle?
Okay,
They
go ahead.
was in the, they're at the little. It's not practice in the live action. It's actual performance.
Okay.
They was making fun of her before she even went on stage.
Okay.
Because of course she's late. She's running. She's trying to get there on time. She's late. She had to give Pudge the sandwich.
Oh, so she still does that?
Yeah, she still gives Pudge the sandwich.
Okay. Okay.
So the kind of beginning of the movie is the same. She gives the sandwich. She's running through town, all that
Right.
shenanigans as Lilo does. She gets there. They're talking mess about her. She still gets on stage, hits her note, hits her mark, hops in the dance. She's good. Myrtle says something. She like bumps into her because Lilo looks into the crowd and Nani's not there.
Mm.
Nani's running late. She's leaving work. She's running late. The car won't start. So Lilo's like, damn, she was supposed to be here. She's not here. Myrtle bumps into her, says something. Lilo stops dead in her track. Me mugs the fuck out of Myrtle and push her ass right off stage. Cause that's a high ass stage. Lilo went boom, and Myrtle popped her happy ass off stage. And Lilo stood there like she do it again. I said, you know what? Fair enough, my girl. Fair enough.
It ain't the same. I need her. I need her.
It's not putting hands, but Myrtle definitely deserved what she got. She deserved to get pushed off that high ass stage.
I need old school Lilo. I need Hawaiian Punch Lilo. I need.
I mean, maybe in the remake they'll, bring her back, give her throwing paws, all that jazz.
I need
I
her
would love
throwing.
it
I need her throwing them
because the little
hands.
girl's adorable. I don't want to talk about Jumba. That was my biggest grievance with the whole fucking movie.
And that's
Jumba.
another part of it. Why did y'all make Jumba the main villain of the story? Why didn't you keep him as a villain the entire movie? That's another part of my story.
And that was my biggest grievance. They made Jumba into the villain. Jumba was never the villain.
He was
not in the original movie. He was never the villain.
No, he was at most an antagonist because he was going against the main character, but he was never the villain.
Right, in the live action, they legit made him out to be like slick evil. He's like, "Oh, I'm here to get you. I'm gonna destroy you." Da da da. And I'm just like, why is he evil? Why is he like actively trying to like destroy him? Like that's not his thing. Jumba's not evil.
Jumba just wanted to capture him.
Right, he just wanted to take him back. Like he's an evil. Like he's not evil. Like I said, he's just a silly uncle that's playful.
All right. I have another question about the movie, and I know to the people listening, they're gonna be like, "Well, just go watch the fucking movie. You got all these questions." No, I'm not giving them my money. They're gonna take my 12 cents because I say 12 cents because I rationalize it as they split it between all of the varying titles that they have on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
they're gonna take my 12 cents for that movie when it comes to Disney Plus. Is Cobra Bubbles in the freaking movie?
Yes.
Is he the same Gucci badass that he was in the original?
No.
I hate it. I hate it.
He's not played by buff ass Ving Rhames, who's the voice actor. He's played by, I don't know if you know Courtney B. Vance. He's played by that.
I hate it. Oh, I hate it.
He does still have a little bit of ruggedness to him, and they did change Cobra's character as well.
No.
Still Cobra. He's still Cobra Bubbles. But in the movie, he was a social worker.
He was technically a social
worker. Yeah, in the original, he's a social worker.
Okay.
In this movie, he's straight CIA.
No.
But he pretends to be a social worker.
No, let him. No, give him the OG. Exactly. Like, give him the OG. Make him the badass that said, "I'm retiring from that," and turn it into this. And then at the end of the movie, give him Galactic Patrol status to be the liaison between the aliens and Earth. That.
I mean, he still does get that at the end of the movie.
Okay. Well, that's good at least.
He still does. He still is in charge of like watching Stitch at the end of the movie. Make sure Stitch is staying on his shit. But I will say they made the ending of the movie sadder than it was. Yes, he still has the Cobra on his head.
Yes, at least he still has Cobra. Nice. Okay.
I will say they made the ending of the movie sadder than it should have been.
Really?
Like I am not an emotional person. The ending of the movie about had me to cry. I was like, why are y'all doing this to me? I don't cry. Because it's like in the movie, how Lilo almost drowns. Why does she almost drown? Because Stitch drags her down. In the live action, again, this is huge spoiler for the ending of the movie. She goes down there to try to get Stitch. Okay. And she's like trying to pull him up. But one thing about Stitch, when he gets wet, he becomes very dense, like a fucking rock.
Yep.
So she's trying to pull him up, but she can't because she's fucking 6.
Yeah.
So she's trying to pull him up. She ain't going up. She's drowning herself. So he just like pulls her hand off of him and lets himself sink, so she can like float up.
Damn.
And then once she gets up there and like David and Nani get her, she starts screaming at the top of her lungs, "Go get him! Save him!" Like that blood curdling scream.
Damn.
Of like a mother trying to save a child. Like, go get him, please.
Damn.
And I was like, oh my God. And Nani's just like, no. Lilo is screaming, like, please go get him. And she's just like,
I'm not gonna go get your dog. Like,
hey. And she's just like, I'm sitting here like, Nani, don't let him die. Go get him. But she does eventually. I'm sitting here like, girl, go get him. Eventually, she does go down there and fucking get him, but not like in the movie. She just sweeps out, sweeps and goes back up. Like in the movie, that bitch is running underwater because Stitch is heavy as fuck, and she's slow mo running underwater with his
Not the Jack Sparrow.
slick. She's slick. It's like sand is dusting under the feet,
Oh no.
and then he kind of dies.
Womp womp.
Right. Well, it's sad, but then revive this nigga with a fucking car battery, bro.
Wait, what? They use a car battery?
They connect him with fucking jumper cables. Like they connect jumper cables like to his hands and connect the other shit to the fucking broke ass truck. Now he drives. And they crunk that bitch up. Like he's
That's
a damn car. They
crazy.
jumped him off.
Do you think them trying to stick to realism hurt or help the movie?
It sounds like it hurt it.
It did. I think it did hurt a little bit. I still think overall it was a good movie. Them jumping him off with the fucking jumper cables, like of all things to bring him back to life, you put jumper cables from a damn car.
That shit sounds kind of funny. But all I'm saying is, if they can give the Little Mermaid a little bit more realism and it still be a great freaking movie, they could have done it to Lilo and Stitch. And while I'm on the subject, the Little Mermaid, they didn't change too much from that original movie. Like, yeah, they had a couple of like set changes or like a couple of like scene changes, but the story was still the exact same. We still had the same situation that happened, the same thing that they went through, and everything still happened the way it happened in the movie. I think the only difference is that Ursula didn't get impaled by a boat.
Boo.
I think that might be the only difference, if I remember correctly. Everything else is basically the same.
But yeah, overall, like I said, Lilo and Stitch did end up being a great movie. Um, it made 183 million domestically and 341 million worldwide.
And that's just
Compared
opening
to Snow
weekend.
White.
And that's just
Huh?
open. And
That's
that's
just over Memorial Day weekend.
that's pretty good.
I'm about to say their budget was only like 100 mil. It was
Which
on the lower end of the live action budgets.
which I don't understand because Disney got the money to shell out for higher budgets.
That's why I still think that they was like, oh, we don't want to go too crazy. But Snow White had a $250 million budget.
Goodness.
I want you to guess how much they actually made.
I'm gonna guess 77 million domestically, 112 million globally.
I don't have their domestic, but they made 204 million globally.
Dang!
After your 250 mil budget,
They didn't even break even. That's crazy.
not in the slightest. Y'all lost money making that fucking movie.
Because my argument with Snow White is that going back to Peter Dinklage, he didn't like the idea of small persons playing with the parts of dwarves. So,
Go ahead.
so everybody was saying, "Oh, they're not gonna do the seven dwarves." No, they still did them. They just use CGI. And so I'm thinking, if they can use CGI to do the dwarves, why can't they use CGI to use Dinklage?
Speaking
Might not be
of,
as inconvenience.
also, Peter
And
Dinklage,
yes, really.
I'm gonna say it like this, and I pray that this doesn't land as horribly as I'm thinking it might. Yes, Peter Dinklage did say like, "Oh, I don't want little people playing the actual part," but if they had little people actually like auditioning for the parts, I would go with it. I'ma just be 100. I'ma just be like, if I actually had like I needed like 7 parts, so like 7 little people to play the dwarf, and I got like 300 plus little people coming in to like audition for the part. I'm gonna fill those roles with actual little people. Like, for me at
Yeah.
least, when I say like some of these parts, and they always want to try to be like, oh well, why did they have to be this for the story? Why did they have to be that? But it's like, why not use like there's such a big thing about diversity in Hollywood and like a diversity or like a lack thereof. So why not be diverse? Use little people, use actual little people for the dwarves. Like I know there's the negative connotation associated with that, but it's like if there's such a big thing on that negative connotation, you shouldn't be making the movie in the first place.
All right. That's like drag queens playing drag queens.
Absolutely.
You don't want like straight men playing drag queens, so drag queens play drag queens.
Right. Like let the drag queen be drag queen then, because if your main character is gonna be like upset and not want to do the movie because he has to dress in drag for 4 scenes, well then get an actual drag queen to play the part then.
And I feel like they could have done that. They could have done that completely. Like, hey, bro, put on this raggedy ass outfit for like a scene.
Okay, okay, but then I feel like part of the issue would be, like most drag queen, they like no, I'm not putting on nothing raggedy. Everything that I have is going to be on point.
And that's the thing. But this thing, they're like Pleakley's human form. Well, Pleakley's alien form wasn't even that prominent in the movie. He was more human than alien in the movie.
Oh,
I think that goes back to, I'm sure Justin can speak on this too, is if you watch a lot of superhero movies, most of the times they're masked off. Because for promotion, for advertisement, oh, come see this movie to see so and so. Not to see the character, but to see so and so. And I think that's why Bleakley wasn't in his alien form that much. It's because they're like, hey, come see this actor. Same with
Nobody knows who the fuck that man was.
I forgot where I saw him from, but I know Galifianakis.
Everybody knows Zach Galifianakis, but like, he made me mad. His accent, he did not fit that character.
Yeah.
He said, and he was like, I don't really do accents. Well, nigga, you shouldn't have took the fucking role.
Yeah.
Because you just look stupid. When they first announced that he was going to be in the movie, I was like, I swear to shit.
Oh no.
It was no accent at all. And I was like, this is some fuck shit. That was the first thing that pissed me off about the movie.
That's true.
Was no accent. He sounded like somebody fucking aggravating ass neighbor.
Somebody just talking?
Yes!
Just sound like a guy talking?
Literally, he sounds like your neighbor. Hi, Bill. The grass is looking good today. Shut up.
And
Shut up.
it's crazy because when, like the Super Mario Bros. Movie, when the couch was announced, everybody was like, I don't know about that couch.
Yeah.
But, they surprised us, unfortunately.
Right.
Everybody
did not.
Everybody lost their mind and they actively bullied, and I appreciate that. They bullied that man into making sure he did a better accent than what we got in that first trailer, because I remember I was there for that. I remember I basically had a damn countdown clock for that first trailer, because I was like, bro, I'm hyped for this shit. I want to see this hoe. And motherfucker, I watched that trailer and I said, what the fuck is this? I was irritated. Then I go online and I'm looking on Twitter. They are roasting the shit out of Chris Pratt. And I said, good.
They need to bully Zach Galifianakis into at least trying the accent.
I feel like had we had a chance.
What was the original guy?
So what?
I think he died, actually.
I think it did.
I think he died.
But what I was gonna say was had they released his part in one of the trailers, I feel like they would have.
What?
Like, had they released like some of the speaking, because all the trailers were all focused on Stitch.
Right. Stitch and Lilo, yeah.
Yeah, all the trailers were focused on them. They weren't focused on any of the other parts of the movie.
I feel like if they would have teased Jumbo's non-accent, people would have had a riot.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%. They would have.
I don't like how they made him look all that either. They made him look kind of fuzzy.
Yeah.
It made me uncomfortable.
$1 trillion company can't even get their CGI right. Lord have mercy.
Right, just make him. I'd rather you make him like slimy looking than fuzzy.
Lord.
They put a little too much on the fat joke for him.
Dang. No, not the fat
Cause
jokes.
he got stuck like fucking twice. Like
Yeah.
two, three times he got stuck and stuff.
Dang.
Didn't he get run over at one point? I think he got ran over by something.
That's funny.
He almost got hit by a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's tragic. That's funny.
Yeah.
Huh.
But, you know, everybody else asked my rating. I say of the movie overall, I gave it like an A minus.
Okay.
Um I thought it was a solid movie. Did I have my grievances? Yes, but it didn't take away from me enjoying the movie as it is. Now,
You
if
know
you're not
what?
that big of a Lilo and Stitch fan, I say definitely save your money and wait for it to come on Disney Plus.
Oh, it wasn't. I did like the little nod or Easter egg to the other experiment.
Oh yeah, they did that.
Really?
Yeah, cause Jumbo was like, "Oh, I'm gonna destroy you and rebuild you," and he was kind of scrolling through, and it showed like Angel and I think Leroy in another experiment.
Nice.
Yeah,
Because I'm pretty sure
it's
they all have
great.
names.
Of the ones that we know, yes, some have names. Not all of them have names because we don't know all of them.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to
But
say
the
at
ones,
one point they had built out the wiki though, because I remember like on like the old school DisneyChannel.com,
yeah,
like I want to say they had built out the wiki to where like they were able to build like all of them, because
but
it was
that's the
a
thing. It's not completely canon because there's no way to completely build all of them when we don't know what they look like.
that is also true. I feel
But
like
the ones that we know what they look like and they were like shown in the series, yeah, we know your names.
I feel like they also used, because I don't know if you remember the video game that they did. What video game where it was basically you could create your own.
Yeah,
I feel like they used that to make a lot of those experiments.
100%, 100%.
Because they were like, just let's just make the kids do it, and then we'll pick the ones we like, and then we'll make them canon.
All right, we'll give them a name and a power or some shit. I'm like, that's
Right.
lame. Give me the ones whose names we know. Give me the ones from the show.
One thing I really like is the fact that they made it canon that Leroy is functionally the exact same as Stitch. He's just lazy.
Leroy?
Like, yes, they. I remember like vividly them being like Leroy is basically the exact same as Stitch with none of the issues with like his like mood and temperament, and he's just lazy. Like he's just lazy and like sandwiches, but he's basically like same
That's
strength.
not Leroy.
Then which one? Hold on,
You're thinking of Ruben.
hold on.
Ruben is the yellow one.
Well then wait, which one is Leroy then? Hold on.
Leroy is the red one in the movie. He's the evil red one that can somewhat talk and also shapeshift to a degree.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. I am thinking about Ruben.
Yeah, that's Ruben.
I am thinking about
He's
Ruben.
lazy as fuck and eats and just makes sandwiches.
But he's
How he gets any of the stuff to make sandwiches, Lord knows.
but he is functionally the exact same of Stitch in
Yes.
terms of like power and durability and everything. Wait,
But
wait a minute.
Ruben is no, they're both very intelligent.
But wait,
Ruben just has a little bit more vocabulary.
true,
It's,
very much. But wait a minute, wait a minute. Doesn't isn't Leroy the exact same? Only he's just a lot angrier. Well,
he's angrier. He can lift slightly more than Stitch.
I don't remember
Yeah,
that.
Stitch can lift 3,000 times. And to be fucking petty, Hamsterville made Leroy to where he can lift 3,001
Ha ha ha
times.
ha. That's
And
funny.
he's red, and he's somewhat, and he's basically indestructible, so they say. But he does have a Jumbo put an off switch on him.
Of course he
I
did.
think he will be a great villain for the next one.
Oh yeah, Hamsterville will be an amazing villain for the next movie. I feel like he'd be super easy to fucking CGI. He's a fucking hamster.
I wonder if the voice.
Get the original actor.
I mean, all they would have to do is just take the. All they'd have to do is take the CGI model from Wrecking Ball from Overwatch, and boom, there you go.
Mm.
No, Doug, look up Wrecking Ball from Overwatch right now, and I promise you, once you see it, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's all they got to do is just take that character model, put it in the movie, and that would be it."
Make it all white, maybe.
I
Make it
mean,
all white. It's high key there.
yeah, it changed the color,
But
but
yeah,
I'm just saying that the base model, that's basically the same thing.
yeah.
Yeah, no, voice actor for him is still alive.
Okay, so there you go. There's the next movie, Hamsterville. Wow.
Lilo and Stitch 2, Leroy appears.
Honestly, that'd be lit.
No,
That'd be lit.
they'd have to call it the Rise of Leroy, because then what they
Ooh,
could do.
that'd be fire. The Rise of Leroy? Shit.
Because then what they could do is they could turn that and then push it into the third movie, where in the third movie they have to introduce one of the other experiments to help Stitch take down Leroy and Hamsterville.
You said Angel.
Yeah.
Angel came to.
Well,
You ain't a fan.
Look. This why we don't talk. This why we don't talk to the non fans.
This is why. See, if you were paying attention, if you watch the show,
What's so special about what can she do? What can Angel do?
put you to sleep.
That could be useful.
That bitch is. Oh, what's that fucking Pokemon? Jigglypuff.
Yeah.
That bitch
Stop.
is. She's kind of Jigglypuff, but Stitch form.
Yeah. She can.
She no, not make you fall asleep. I think she makes you fall in love with her. She makes you fall in love with her, but by singing a song. But if she sings the song backwards, she can make you basically really angry and fight for her.
Oh, so she can buff or debuff.
More or less, yeah. That's Angel. That bitch ain't fighting for shit. She's
She
a pretty
not.
girl.
She not. That's why I say bring in Ruben, baby.
Like, and she's 6. She can because again, she is genetically the same as Stitch and Ruben. But that bitch ain't fighting for shit.
She not.
She got courage. She got a Coke bottle. She ain't fighting shit. Angel's not fighting anybody.
You know what?
She
You know
will
what?
sit there on her chair sipping a margarita
You
and
know
make
what?
you fight.
You know what makes me real sad?
Mm.
I know Angel is on somebody's Hear Me Out cake.
I know 100% she is. She is.
No.
Them
That-
curves is too crazy. She's definitely on somebody hear me out cake.
It's a shame. It is a shame, is what it is. Nah, but I could genuinely see like in the third movie when they can't fight Leroy alone. They have to bring in Ruben, and then I could literally envision this scene where Stitch and Lilo are trying to convince Ruben to help them, and they're just like, "We'll get you the biggest sandwich you've ever seen if you'll just help us." And he's just like, "Sandwich? All right, let's do it
I mean, she did convince him one time to help
with a sandwich."
buy a fuck. She was like, "Hey man, I got this grilled cheese." He said, "Grilled cheese? What's in that grilled cheese?" She got him to help with a fucking sandwich.
Hey,
And
do
he
what you
ate
gotta
it
do.
out.
I think them recruiting Ruben would be a nice after credit scene. The second.
Hey, they gotta introduce Ruben.
That'd be great.
How did Ruben get there? They gotta show the experiments getting unleashed into Hawaii. Even, well, really no, because they took Ruben.
I don't
I
know.
think they
That
took
would be.
him-
I feel like that would be a good. I feel like that would be a good second movie too, though. Is like, what's his name? Fucking Jimba.
Who?
Jumba. Thank you. Especially since he's the villain from the first one, have him in the second one come back licking his chops. Like, all right, well, clearly Stitch or 626 is a bitch, so I'm gonna just release all of my other experiments to go get him. And he has to fight through like 4 or 5 other experiments, one of which being Leroy. Have the experiments be led by Leroy.
That'd be crazy.
Have Jumba and Hamsterville fucking team up and then have Leroy lead the experiments to try to go get Stitch. Disney, hire me.
Then they pick which experiments to use.
I feel like one.
See, if y'all were like huge Stitch fans, we could debate this on which ones to choose.
I feel like
We're not going to.
what's his name? Yeah, like that's not
Oh.
his name's not Sparky, is it?
It is Sparky. He's yellow with a tail.
I feel like that
Yeah.
could be possibly easy. You know, could
You could. Well, the only thing I'm gonna say was Sparky. Stitch is a conductor, so Stitch can get electrocuted, but he's gonna bounce right back. He was. Stitch has electrocuted himself many a times, and
He
he
has.
just keeps pushing.
Absolutely.
The Sparky's not stopping him.
But
I would
of
say the
course-
one with like 4 arms that's like was in like a wrestling ring. He might.
well, we also gotta think about which ones would be the easiest for them to
CGI.
animate. There's some
They bring back fucking Myrtle's dog.
That would be kind of funny.
Myrtle's dog is an experiment.
I could see them doing it.
I mean, it's a fucking dog. Go find one. You don't even got CGI. Go find one that looks like that. Boom.
Because when it
Literally.
comes to I think that they always use the concept of Occam's razor. You know, whatever's the easiest will be the best answer.
The dog.
The dog.
No,
Or maybe the baby experiment.
I could see that too.
The little rattle baby experiment. Bonnie and
Oh.
Clyde would be cool experiments to use.
Ooh, you're right.
They didn't really do shit. Ooh, I feel like one that would look cool. I forgot it was named, but it could make like it could shoot lava balls.
I know which one you're talking about. I remember he was in one of the games. I remember they had a fighting Lilo and Stitch game. And I remember
Yeah.
he was one of the ones that you could fight.
I feel like that'd be a cool one.
That
Tag
would
team
be
him,
crazy.
one that could spray water like an octopus. Those two right there, they could cause some damage.
That would be crazy. That would be.
Okay, so with Jumbo, like maybe Jumbo escapes, and then he teams up with Hamster though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they were partners in the original. Or maybe in the remake, they become like cellmates.
Yeah.
You know?
There you go. Disney, hire us. We can help y'all write this.
You just made the movie. You have a Lilo and Stitch expert here. I know things.
And a Lilo and Stitch fanatic. I will say I'm not as like knowledgeable. I can't give you down to like some of the like more finer details, but I remember enough from the animated series and the movies to be able to help build a coherent story that is one, exciting, two, stays true to the what we know in the canon, and three, is entertaining for all ages. Also, if y'all really trying to be on tip, let's do Lilo and Stitch Kim Possible Recess in Hawaii. Let's bring all of them in.
Carlson Romano.
Huh?
We get Kristen Carlson Romano
Yep.
as a cameo.
Yep.
Yeah.
We bring in because they did a live action Kim Possible. Get them actors, bring them in. Let's get Kim Possible on that island.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Let's do
Disney Channel
Bring
was
back all the shows.
Disney Channel was the king of same network crossovers.
Oh, most definitely. They had an American Dragon Jake Long crossover too.
Yeah, I remember. Cause I want to say they did the American Dragon Lilo and Stitch. They did the Lilo and Stitch Kim Possible. Then they did Lilo and Stitch Recess.
They also did Lilo and Stitch Proud Family.
They did. Oh my god, that one. To be honest, that one is one of those ones that like it feels like they just kind of like pushed it into the like archives as far back as they could to get people to forget that one ever happened. Because I feel like I remember that one not being as popular.
I don't think so, but I remember the experiment and it was yellow. It was yellow.
That's funny.
What could it do? I don't know, but it was yellow.
I will say though, no crossover on Disney Channel will ever top the That's So Sweet Life
Of Hannah Montana.
of
Yeah.
Hannah Montana. That will forever be the top. Didn't they do another one where it was
I
on.
think
It was like the. I don't think it was That So Sweet Life of Hannah Montana on deck, but it was like they did another one on while they were on the cruise ship.
Oh, and by the way, the experiment.
it was That's So Sweet Life on Deck.
That's what it was.
Is okay. There was That's So Sweet Life from Hannah Montana, and then That's So Sweet Life. Yeah, yeah. That's So Sweet Life from Hannah Montana was
In the hotel.
yeah. What was that another one? Well, then there was Wizards on Deck with Hannah Montana.
There it is. I was trying to remember. I was like, they did another one on the boat. I just could not remember. I'll be honest. While we're on the subject of Disney, I will say, I feel like Sweet Life on Deck ended really flat. Like, up to, like, cause don't get me wrong, they were successfully able to carry on the momentum of Sweet Life on the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody into the Sweet Life on Deck. They were able to move that momentum, and it went great. By the time we got to their senior year on the boat, I feel like all that momentum had fallen off, and it was just kind of like flat. And I'll even admit, though I continued to watch it, because at that point I was like, well, I've been watching it since I was like 8. I might as well just keep watching. I was like,
Finish it.
right. I was kind of checked out because I was like, it doesn't hit the same as it used to.
All right.
So it is what it is. It's one of those weird things.
Yeah.
I also find it. Ooh, yeah.
Oh no, I was gonna say, where's the Waverly Place is coming back?
Oh, it already is
I think
back. It's already back.
Right.
Like they already done dropped the whole season, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't heard any talk about it, so I don't think it's good.
I've seen a couple TikToks, but I haven't seen too much. I think a lot of the issues that people have is that the main focus is around Justin and his kids,
And he was
whereas
just never the one.
Justin was regularly the problem on that show.
Yeah.
Like I love his actor, but the character Justin was regularly the problem.
Yeah. And the fact that they're making the new one mostly about him, like we give a damn.
Like
No,
so,
the show was about Alex.
so it's mostly about him teaching his kids about wizardry because I think one of his kids end up getting wizard powers,
We don't care.
and so it's mostly about like him teaching them. And apparently, Alex does make a cameo in like 2 or 3 episodes.
Didn't in the end of Wizards of Waverly Place he didn't did he I don't even think he won the wizard competition.
So
Did he?
So he won the wizard competition, but he gave up his powers. Like he admitted that if it wasn't for Alex, he never would have won the thing. So the like wizard dude gave both Alex the power and Justin the power, leaving Max all by himself. Max didn't get shit.
And that's fucked up.
It's very fucked up. Like, even to this day, I'm just like, damn, y'all didn't give Max nothing? Like, did he at least get to go back and, like, did he at least go back and own the sandwich shop or something? Like,
Man got shit on.
bro, granted, I will admit, most of the show, he deserved it. And I feel like that's also indicative to Disney Channel's, like, at that time. They always had to have that one character that was, like, rambunctious and all in the way for no reason. Like,
Always a comedic relief.
right. Like, and almost to a point of it being too much. In a lot of cases.
That's fair.
Also, I'm very curious, and this is something I've often thought about. What was the pathway to get into their front door if they had a stairwell that went down into the sandwich shop? So, like, because they oftentimes had that door that opened up into their living room. So, like, what was the pathway to get there? Like,
I think it might have been one of those magic portal type things.
Was it? Because people, like
Very
human people, showed up
broken.
there too. Because I remember the freezer was where they had their wizard portal.
Hmm.
We could talk about Disney Channel and Disney movies for forever and ever and ever. But we have been going a little while. I apologize. I said like 10 minutes. It ended up being like half the episode. More than
Listen,
half.
that's my niche, man. Lilo and Stitch is my niche. I can talk about it all day.
I see. So with that being said, I want to ask: do you want to do an Am I the Asshole, or do you want to save it?
We'll save it. The one, because I had a decent little one, so we'll
Okay.
save it.
Okay. Perfect. Even better. I love that. So that means, ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna have to come back next week to hear the "Am I the Asshole" by Kristal. That's going to be an interesting one. She hasn't even told me what it is. I'm excited because 9 times out of 10, the one that I do say 9 times out of 10, really more like 7 out of 10. The ones that she picks are really like juicy and great. And I hope it has an update because if it doesn't, I'm going to be upset because we've only had like one story with an update and I hate it so bad. Like I need to know because I'm a messy individual. I need to know what happened in these people's lives. I've literally started listening to podcasts that read Reddit stories so I can like find out stuff about other people's lives and then give my opinion on things that are going on. Do you know how boring of a relationship, which I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but like, do you know how healthy and boring of a relationship you have to be in to actively go to Reddit and like listen to podcasts to hear about the crazy drama other people are dealing with? Like, granted, I don't want to be dealing with any of that drama, but it's like, dang, it's really cool to be able to like hear and like hear what other people are going through.
Mm,
I don't know. Maybe I'm just projecting. I don't know. I mean, I did just admit I am nosy. So, but
okay.
with that, we are gonna wrap up and get things ended. Um, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, um, if you guys have enjoyed today's episode where we basically spoiled all of Lilo and Stitch, the live action remake, you can give us a like, comment, share down below. Let all the people you know that we talked really bad. Well, I talked really bad on the live action remake of Lilo and Stitch. Follow us on all our social medias that are linked down below. You can follow me on all the social medias also linked down below. But in case you don't feel like going to those links down below, it is at underscore Young JB, which is underscore YUNGJAYBEE. You can also follow my alter ego, Jack Miles, at Sweeper Jack or Jack Miles the One on the varying social media platforms. I will not be linking those below just because I am lazy. But with that being said, Doug, please tell the people where they can find you on the social medias.
You can find me everywhere. At Christy Chan, KRISTALDESHANE.
Love that. Fantastic. You know what you need to do? You need to change your
What?
social media page to say like whatever name it is for the week. So like your TikTok and your Instagram. You need to change the name to whatever it is for the Instagram.
Oh yeah, when you give me a name tag at the bottom, Doug is spelled DUGG, silent Q.
I almost had an aneurysm. I almost DUGG silent Q.
Yup.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I'm about to change
Listen,
your
that's
name. I'm actually about to change your name on my phone to Doug.
DUGG silent Q.
That's exactly what I'm
Yeah,
about to do too.
yeah, that's my name, you know. DUGG silent Q.
Lord, that's exactly what I'm changing it to too.
I love that so much. I
That's
expect nothing
wait.
less.
So is the silent Q capitalized or lowercase?
It's lowercase.
That's funny. DUGGQ Doug.
Duh. The Q is silent.
Blitzo, the O is silent.
The Q.
Mm-mm-mm. But with that being said, laddie daddy dads and gentlemen, we will see you all in the next episode, which will be episode 51. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please remember that you are loved, you are appreciated. There it is. And we are so, so, so happy that you joined us right here on this lovely podcast. We will see you all in the next episode. Love you, mean it. Bye bye.
If you or a loved one is struggling with alcohol abuse, dial the National Drug and Alcohol Treatment Hotline at 1-800-662-4357. The National Drug and Alcohol Treatment Hotline provides information on alcohol and drug abuse, local treatment options, and support through hotline counselors who are there to help and speak with you about alcohol, drug, or family problems.